Behind every major breakthrough in gaming was a group of developers who thought outside the box. Welcome to Daily Gram, and today we're listing our picks for the top 10 games that revolutionized gaming. I'm Adrian from Daily Gram, and today we'll be looking at games that either redefined their genre or created a brand new style of gaming outright. Before we get to our list, make sure to watch until the end of this video, because our number one pick will definitely leave you scratching your heads wondering how the hell did they think of that.
Hey, that's pretty good.
So plug in your consoles and get your PC ready, because we're about to get started. 10. Gran Turismo 1997. Okay, before you guys start flaming in the comments section that 1992's Virtua Racing is what created the racing genre, I'd like to clarify, you would indeed be correct. But Gran Turismo was the one that brought the genre to new heights. How? Because this was the first game to introduce realistic cars in all of their 32-bit glory, with customizable parts. Let's not forget how the DualShock controller would rumble whenever you went off track or crashed. Gran Turismo proved that racing games could be made as realistic as possible without sacrificing the fun factor, and is a big reason why we have the modern racing games that all of us sim racers love today. 9. Resident Evil 1996. Back then, horror was often carried out in puzzle games or brainless shoot-em-ups. That was until Resident Evil made its debut in 1996, giving birth to the survival horror genre. Yes, it had its flaws like awkwardly placed camera angles, but you have to admit that it took courage for the developers to release a game that revolved around scavenging for bullets and solving puzzles, all while zombie dogs and other foes chase a player around the map. This game is responsible for showing game developers that you can up the scare factor of a game by introducing micromanagement into the mix. Players loot for items and solve side quests while trying to conserve health and ammo. Definitely stressful, but that's what makes it so great. 8. Dance Dance Revolution 1998. Back in the 80s and 90s, games were largely regarded as an antisocial activity. Well, that all changed when Dance Dance Revolution hit the arcades. Rather than immersing players into a visual story, it instead made use of huge gaming pads, where players needed to step on the corresponding arrows as they flashed on screen. This game was the go-to activity for family outings, hanging out with friends, and even on dates. Dance Dance Revolution showed that games could be more than simply moving a joystick, and is a source of inspiration for things like the Nintendo Wii, Xbox Kinect, and PlayStation Move. 7. Command & Conquer 1995. Remember when the only strategy games are puzzle games? Yeah, Pepperidge Farms remembers. You, however, probably do not. Anyways, following this shortage of actual strategy, a shining gem emerged which showed that strategy games don't always have to include puzzles. Introducing the original Command & Conquer series. This game single-handedly paved the way for the real-time strategy genre, or RTS for short, which inspired a plethora of other games like StarCraft, Warcraft, and Battle Realms. You could also thank this game for introducing the mechanic of collecting resources to build establishments and units, which is found across plenty of other games outside the RTS genre. For all you nitpickers here, yes, we know that Herzog's Way, however that's pronounced, is the first ever RTS game, but it was turn-based, making it a different subgenre of RTS games. 6. Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos 2002. Warcraft has always been on the forefront of gaming history, largely owed to how daring the developers have been. Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos brought a lot of gameplay mechanics to the table, such as incorporating an intricate storyline to its RTS-type gameplay and equipping abilities and items on certain heroes. But the most important aspect of this game was its engine. Warcraft 3 had a level-building tool that enabled its players to mod the game, and thus multiplayer online battle areas, or MOBAs, were born. The legendary game Defense of the Ancients, or more commonly known as Dota, was first a mod within the game, but the player base soon grew too large and the game had to make its own franchise. Thus, Dota 2 was born as an independent title. Soon, other games like Heroes of New Earth, League of Legends, and even mobile MOBAs like Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, and Vainglory all joined in to make up one of gaming's biggest genres. 5. Tetris 1984. You've probably owned a handheld console at some point in your life. Be it Nintendo with a Game Boy, a DS, or a Switch, to Sony's PSP and PS Vita, none would exist without the creation of Tetris. So how did some little brick boys create a market for handheld consoles? Well, it started by creating the foundations for the extremely successful Nintendo Game Boy. Back then, people thought that games required big clunky machines to use, and no one ever thought that people would be able to play a game on anything remotely portable. That is, until Tetris proved that there was big bang to be made on handheld titles, and soon the market became more saturated than a chicken nugget left on an oil tray. 4. Pokemon Red and Blue, 1996. I bet you guys were expecting these on the list sooner or later, so here they are, the twin games that started a worldwide phenomenon, Pokemon Red and Blue. The creation of these games originated from Satoshi Tajiri's dream of spreading his love for catching and collecting insects to children around the world. What he didn't expect was how extraordinarily popular the game would become. Who knew that fictional animals fighting it out would become such a popular form of entertainment? Maybe those Romans were onto something with their Colosseum. Well, Pokemon would soon become a worldwide phenomenon that came in endless forms, such as trading cards, shows, movies, clothing, and even appliances.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Pokemon's most famous source of revenue are the video games, and it's responsible for both bringing popularity to turn-based role-playing games and pioneering the monster-catching genre. Imagine all this success just because of a bug-catching hobby. Hey, maybe you can make your hobby of watching daily Gram videos a worldwide phenomenon too. 3. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, 1998. I still remember when open-world games were the stuff of legends, but nowadays it seems like most game maps are so vast that it would take real-world days to travel across them. But all those games came after Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Yes, there were other games set in 3D worlds, one of the most notable being Super Mario 64, but these games often had a set path for you to follow. The map was open, but the goals were still confined to the 2D mindset of finish the level. On the other hand, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time used its open world to its advantage by intertwining stories of other characters and forcing the players to think in all three dimensions when going about puzzles. This game is what inspired many developers to create worlds that are purely story-driven, with layers of gameplay. Without Legend of Zelda, we wouldn't have games such as Red Dead Redemption, GTA, and countless other AAA games. Make sure you leave a comment about your experience with Zelda or any of the other games we've mentioned, and how you think they've impacted the world of video games. 2. World of Warcraft 2004. This game is literally historic, not only because the developers gave the game such a sophisticated storyline along with amazing characters and events, but because the players themselves engaged in making video game history. Yes, RuneScape was the first major massively multiplayer online role-playing game, or MMORPG. But World of Warcraft was the main cause for the genre's success, by showing players that games could go further than what the developers intend, and that they have the power to shape the in-game world's culture and events. Without World of Warcraft, we wouldn't have the vast diversity of other MMORPGs with rich player-made history, such as EVE Online and Star Wars: The Old Republic. Fun fact: a historical event in World of Warcraft, the Corrupted Blood Incident of 2005, is now being studied by researchers on how to tackle quarantine methodology for the current pandemic. Honorable mentions: Super Mario 64,
Mario's back.
Diablo, Minecraft. 1. Street Fighter 2, 1991. Back then, fighting games were just mindless beat-em-ups that had little to no strategy around them. Then, finally, Street Fighter was created, bringing culture and innovative mechanics to the genre. It introduced the use of button and movement combinations to perform special moves and combos, and most importantly, it added the variable of player-based skill into the mix. This soon led to the creation of the annual Evolution Championship Series, a tournament that showcases different teams from different fighting game franchises. All this was made possible by the Street Fighter series.
I know you like to look at yourself on television, you sick son of a bitch. So look at this.
Well, those were the top 10 games that revolutionized gaming. Now let me ask you guys, which was your favorite on our list? Which game do you think had the biggest impact on gaming as a whole? Let us know down in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to our channel for more top gaming picks. Have a good one, and I'll catch you next time.